Hello class, today we are going to start working on two-step equations. You guys have mastered one-step equations and now it's time to go to two-step equations. So here's a video for you. You need to be writing down these examples. There won't be a lot because I'm very confident that you guys will understand this quickly. Doing two-step equations is not much different than one-step equations. As you can imagine, the difference is you're going to be doing two things instead of one. So let's start with the first example. The first example we'll do today, we'll call this example A. And the example will be 7 equals x over 3 plus 4. Okay, so here we go. Just like we did the other day, I'm going to do a couple things that are not optional. I want you to draw a line down the center. And I want you to start by drawing a 1 and a 2 and a 3 over to the side. So, what makes this different than solving a one-step equation? What do you think? If you said we have two things to move, we have a 4 and we have a 3, then you're correct. So we've got to move these two things, the 3 and the 4, and if we move these two things, then the x right here will be all by itself. So let's get rid of these arrows for a second. Boom, disappear, and boom, disappear. And let's go. The key to this entire lesson is knowing what variable to what number to move first. So we've discussed that we need to move the 3 and the 4. But which one do we move first? Here's which one you move first. You move the one that is not with the variable first. Since this 3 is right here with the x, they're like touching almost. You move the one that is not with the variable first. So in this problem, we're going to move the 4 first. And we're going to take this 4 and we're going to move it over here. So it's time to get started. So we said that we're going to move the 4 first because it's the one that's not with the x. So we're going to move the 4. It's an addition problem because it says x plus 4. The opposite of addition is subtraction. So we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. So minus 4, minus 4. 4 minus 4 cancels out because it's 0. And 7 minus 4 is 3. There we go. So we need to drop down what we have left, and that would be the x over 3. So here's what's different than yesterday. We have two steps. So we're going to do another 1, 2, 3. And again, I would like to see everybody do this. I would like to see everybody do this. It is very helpful. So I want to see the line. I want to see these drawn. So the next number we have to move is this 3. Now this is x over 3. X over 3. When you have a variable over a number, it's a division problem. Opposite of a division is multiplication. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3. So we'll just put parentheses here, and that'll be times 3. And we'll do it to this side. These 3's will cancel out. We are left with x on this side, and 3 times 3 is 9. There we go. So to check this, which is very important, let's go back to the original problem. The original problem was 7 equals x over 3 plus 4. But we know what x is now. We know that x is 9. So we're going to take our eraser and we can erase this x. We can put a 9 in here. And let's see if it works. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. We got it right. This is the right answer. Now, when you're checking it, you don't have to write this out, but what you do need to do is you do need to type this in on your calculator and make sure it equals 7. Let's go to the next example. So the next example is going to be example B. And let's just do one like this. Let's go negative 14 equals negative 2x minus 6. So here we go. We're going to draw a line down the center. We're going to do a 1, and we're going to do a 2, and we're going to do a 3. And here we go. We've got two numbers to move. What are they? If you said negative 2 and the 6, then you're correct. We need to move these two numbers. Now, remember what we said the first slide. You always move the number that is not attached to the variable first. So in this problem, we're going to move the 6 first. What kind of problem is this? Well, again, pretend that negative 2 isn't there. It's a subtraction problem, which means we're going to add 6 to both sides. So we go plus 6, and we go plus 6. Negative 6 plus 6 is 0. And negative 14 plus 6, be careful here. Do it in your head, but then check on your calculator. Negative 14 plus 6 is negative 8. Okay, let's drop down what we have left. Let's drop that down. Negative 2x. Now it looks just like a problem we had yesterday because we have one step left. Let's do another 1, 2, 3. We need to move the negative 2 because remember, our goal is to get this x all by itself. We want the x to be the only thing over here. We want this 2 to go over here. What kind of problem is it? You have a number pressed right next to a variable. Hopefully we know that is a multiplication problem. The inverse is division. So we're going to draw our cheat sheet. We're going to divide by negative 2. Divide this side by negative 2. Divide this side by negative 2. These cancel out. We're left with just x. We did it. We got x by itself. Negative 8 divided by negative 2 is positive 4. And that's our answer. But we have to check it. So let's go over here. When you get good at this part, you don't have to write it down, but you do need to type it in your calculator. So we need to go. Here's our problem. Negative 14 equals negative 2x minus 6. But here's the deal. We found out what x equals. Look, x equals 4. So we'll erase this x. Get out of there, x. You're not an x anymore. Now you're a 4. And you can type this in on your calculator. Do that. Negative 14 equals, I'll give you a second. Type that in on your calculator. Negative 2 times 4 minus 6 equals negative 14. We did it. This is the right answer. So after these two examples, I hope you see that it's really similar to solving one-step equations. The only difference is you have to move two things instead of one. So if you can just remember one thing, move the number that is not with the variable first, and then move the number that is with the variable second, then you should be able to do these problems very easily. Let's do one last example. I think 3 examples will be plenty. Let's do one last example to see how well we've got this down. Next, here we go. Final example of the class period. Let's go C. Let's do A over 3 minus 1 equals, let's go negative 10. We don't like negative numbers, so it's probably a good idea that we work with a few. Okay, what do we do first? If you said draw this line, you are correct. Ding, ding, ding. What do we do second? If you said we need to go 1, 2, 3, then you win again. You're 2 for 2. Now, let's see how good we are. What numbers do we need to move? If you said we need to move the 3 and we need to move the 1, then you're rocking. Here's the entire key to today's lesson. Do you remember which number must be moved first? Is it the 3 or is it the 1? If you said 1, you're correct. Remember, we always move the number that is not attached to the variable first. What kind of problem is this? Subtraction. What's the inverse of subtraction? Addition. We are going to use this as a cheat sheet, and we are going to go plus 1 on both sides. So, plus 1, plus 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Cancels out. Awesome. That's what we wanted to happen. Negative 10 plus positive 1, again, do it in your head, but check it on a calculator, is negative 9. I did my negative small. There we go. Negative 9. I'm going to erase this. Try this again. Negative 9. Drop down what is left. We need to drop this down here. We've got a over 3. We need to do another 1, 2, 3. The only number left to move, and again, sometimes we get confused, do I move the 3 or the negative 9? You're trying to get a by itself. We want a to be by itself, which means we need to move the 3. When you have a problem like this, you say, oh, this is a fraction. What is that? Well, fractions are division problems. So this is a division problem, which means we have to multiply. And we draw an arrow from here to here, and that's what we're going to do. We are going to multiply both sides by 3. So times 3 times 3. These cancel out. Negative 9 times positive 3 is negative 27. Are we done? Awesome. I heard you say it. You said in your head, absolutely not. And you're right. We have got to check this problem. So the problem was a over 3 minus 1 equals negative 10. Let's check this. Take our eraser. We'll mark this out. We'll put our answer in here. We know it's negative 27 now. And we'll type this into our calculator. Just type that in just like that. Negative 27 over 3 minus 1 equals negative 10. And we got it right. Give yourself a big check mark. You are done with this video. You should now be able to go to your homework and do the first 16 problems. So your homework is the worksheet, homework 1 through 16. You guys have done wonderful. Take your time. Draw this line, non-negotiable. I want to see this drawn on everybody's paper for every single problem. And I want to see this as well. It's a way to organize your thoughts. I want to see this, and this, and this. Take your time. The video's over. Go do your assignment.